Medicare. Uh, and I'm hopeful that we can get at least a piece of that adopted through the reconciliation process. As I've discussed with y'all the last several years, of course, one of my other major struggles is with regard to the whole issue of prescription price gouging and the fact that Big Pharma has reaped a bonanza of taxpayer dollars in the last year as we tried to get a response to the pandemic, but with virtually no willingness of Congress or the administrations to do anything about Big Pharma's monopoly power. I have, with the endorsement of your National Organization of Retired Americans, once again introduced the Medicare Prescription Drug Negotiation and Competitive Licensing Act, hoping to really have a hammer that works to seek reasonable drug prices. My bill is incorporated in full as a part of Medicare for All. I want to see more Medicare and better Medicare for more Americans. We are hopeful that some portions of prescription drug price negotiation will get into reconciliation, but the big pharma lobbyists, and there are more of them than there are members of the House and Senate, are up there working double time to weaken what was a weak bill that the House passed last year that left out the uninsured, that left out launch prices for drugs, that didn't give consideration to the tremendous investment that taxpayers make in drugs. And so we're battling over all that, sometimes battling other Democrats to try to get a better bill. Another way that I'm honoring this anniversary of Medicare and Social Security is with Medigap legislation. There are about 12 million Medicare beneficiaries, probably some members of this group, who purchase a Medigap policy to cover or at least to reduce some of their out-of-pocket costs from Medicare. And in the course of my work as health subcommittee chairman, I have found out that if you made what I think is a mistake to get on Medicare Advantage, and then you decide you want to get back into traditional Medicare, that these Medigap insurance policies can use pre-existing conditions against you, even though generally pre-existing conditions have been prohibited by the Affordable Care Act. So I have legislation to try to change that. And then another area that I'm dealing with both Social Security and Medicare is what I call the Stop the Wait Act, which is a bill that deals with those who are found to be disabled, who qualify for Social Security disability, but have to wait another 2 years before they can qualify for Medicare, many of them passing away before they reach that point. And I'm trying to eliminate those barriers. It's a big uphill climb. Finally, I would just emphasize the importance of what Jan and others of you have done about voting rights. We were so fortunate to save our democracy from Trump and all his know-nothings last year, but it's still in a very precarious position. It's something I'm concerned about every day. We have 3-vote majority in the House. We basically have a tie in the Senate. And we have so many Republicans determined to suppress the vote. I think that while the fight for voting rights legislation in the House and Senate is important in Washington, and the vote against voter suppression important in Texas, we've got to plan for next year on the assumption that a lot of that voter suppression stuff is going to be there, and how are we going to start early enough and broadly enough to overcome it and circumvent it. And I look forward to working with you all on that. I wish the Republicans were as interested in suppressing COVID and the pandemic as they are in suppressing our voting rights, but we got the situation we have, and we just have to pull together as we have in the past to work to try to get people out to vote and to insist on a progressive agenda that celebrates Medicare and Social Security by making them better and stronger for everyone, so that they are there for our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren, as well as all of us who currently qualify. So with that, Jan, I would turn it back over to you. Welcome any questions or comments you all have, and say thanks for your tremendous advocacy.
Thank you so much, Congressman Doggett. Before we take questions, You mentioned an award that we gave you last year, and funny you should mention that because we have that same award to give you this year, and I believe this is what it looks like once
Great.
again.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And